Let's get right into it. Number 9. The scratching behind the drywall. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Coming from inside your wall. You might think it's ghosts, but the reality is way worse. That scratching is probably coming from mice or rats that have made your walls their new home. These rodents have teeth that never stop growing, so they constantly chew to keep them short. They chew on your drywall, your insulation, and worst of all, your electrical wiring. A mouse nibbling the coating of a live wire turns your home into a hidden fire hazard while you sleep. These unwanted roommates are most active at night, using your walls like their personal highway system. If you're hearing the scratching, the infestation is already pretty bad. By the time you hear them, they've likely established a large presence. They're also leaving disease-carrying droppings all over your insulation right now. While you listen to them scratch, you're breathing in those particles. Sometimes the scratching isn't even mice or rats. It could be termites, slowly eating away at the wooden bones of your house. They turn solid wood into something like wet cardboard. If you can hear termites, you're already in deep trouble. By the time you hear them, they've likely turned your support beams into sawdust. Number 8. The mysterious buzz. A low, persistent buzzing coming from inside your walls. This isn't your phone vibrating. There are two possible explanations for this sound, and both are concerning. First, your electrical wiring is failing. Electrical systems should be quiet, but when wires deteriorate or connections loosen, they vibrate. That buzz means things could potentially catch fire. It's your wiring's warning before it turns your home into a toaster. The second possibility is a massive bee colony living in your walls. Bees love to build their hives inside wall cavities, especially in older houses. This means thousands of bees, just inches away from your living room. These squatters can cause serious structural damage, and if you're allergic, you're living with a potential death trap. The worst part is you won't know which nightmare scenario you're dealing with until you get it checked out. Ignoring that sound is like playing Russian roulette with your house. Number 7. Crackle, pop. You hear it at night. Pop, crackle. Sometimes these sounds are just your house settling. Wood expands and contracts as temperature changes. That's normal. But sometimes that crackling noise means something dangerous. Popping or crackling coming from your walls, especially near electrical outlets, means danger. This sound is electricity jumping between worn-out or loose wires, like tiny lightning bolts behind the walls. These sparks can start fires. Often these electrical pops happen right before a fire starts. It's a warning sign. Electrical fires frequently start at night when your system is working overtime powering charging devices. Wood crackles sound soft and random. Electrical crackles are sharper, usually coming from the same spot over and over. If you hear these sharp pops near outlets or light switches, don't ignore it. It could be the sound of faulty wiring about to burn your house down. Number 6. That hissing sound isn't a cat. You hear a soft, steady hiss coming from somewhere in your house. Your first thought might be the cat being grumpy again, but you don't have a cat. That hiss could be natural gas leaking from your pipes or appliances. Natural gas itself has no smell. Companies add that rotten egg scent to it so you know when it's leaking. But sometimes, before you catch that smell, you might hear the hiss first. That gas could be building up, just waiting for a spark to turn your living room into an inferno. All it takes is one tiny spark, maybe from flipping a light switch. Or maybe it's not gas. Maybe it's just a snake that's made itself at home in your walls or under your couch. Snakes can find their way into houses through tiny gaps and cracks. If you see dirt swirling around while you hear the hiss, you've found a defensive snake basically saying, "This is my house now." So that mysterious hiss means either a potential gas explosion or a snake has moved in. Number 5. The furnace scream. Suddenly, you hear a high-pitched squeal coming from somewhere in your house. It sounds like a ghost being tortured in your basement. That horrifying sound is coming from your furnace, specifically from the inducer motor. HVAC guys actually call it the furnace scream. This motor is like a tiny fan that helps your furnace breathe, pulling in fresh air so it can burn fuel properly. It works non-stop during winter. When this motor starts dying, it makes an awful screaming noise. The sound usually starts as a quiet squeal, then gets louder until it sounds like a metal banshee living in your basement. This isn't just an annoying sound. That screaming noise is a warning. It's your furnace's way of saying, "Help me, I'm dying," in the most dramatic way possible. If you ignore this cry for help, the motor could completely die. When it does, it can cause your furnace to overheat. An overheating furnace can catch fire. HVAC techs have stories about homeowners who ignored these sounds until their furnace went full nuclear meltdown. So if your furnace starts doing its best banshee impression, call an HVAC tech instead. Number 4. Banging pipes symphony. Ever hear your pipes suddenly start banging like someone's trapped inside your walls with a hammer? It's called water hammer, and it's basically your pipes having a panic attack. Water rushes through your pipes like a speeding train. When you suddenly shut off a tap, that water slams to a stop like a high-speed train hitting a wall. It creates a pressure wave racing through your pipes at nearly the speed of sound. This wave is so powerful it can make your pipes jump inside your walls. The banging isn't just annoying. It's your pipes screaming for help. Each bang is literally damaging your plumbing system from the inside out. Like repeatedly bending a paperclip, keep bending it, and eventually, it breaks. Over time, these shock waves can weaken your pipes until they burst. Imagine waking up to find your basement flooded because your pipes finally gave up. Ignoring it long enough, and you might end up swimming in your basement at 3 a.m. It's the thousands of tiny explosions slowly turning your plumbing into a ticking time bomb. Number 3. Gurgling drain confessions. You're brushing your teeth late at night when suddenly you hear it. A low, unsettling gurgle bubbling up from your drain. It's like your pipes are whispering dark secrets about what's lurking down below. That gurgle is a warning that something nasty is plotting its return from the sewers. When your pipes start making these sounds, it means wastewater is having second thoughts about staying down there. It's debating whether to come back up and pay you a visit. Your pipes might be plotting against you because they're clogged with hair, grease, and whatever else you've pretended would magically disappear. The gurgling is trapped air being forced out as your plumbing system slowly loses the battle. Sometimes the problem isn't even in your house. Tree roots can break into your main sewer line like nature's very own home invasion, busting through your pipes. Or maybe birds decided your vent pipe would make a cozy home, and now your plumbing can't breathe properly. That gurgle isn't just a noise, it's a threat. Your sewage is down there, calculating exactly how much chaos it could cause if it decided to stage a comeback tour. Imagine waking up to find everything you've ever flushed having a homecoming party in your bathroom. Number 2. The invisible drip torture. Drip, drip, drip. You're lying in bed at 3 a.m. and you hear it. At first you think it's just a leaky faucet, but that drip isn't coming from any sink. It's coming from inside your walls. By the time you hear that drip, a horror show is already happening behind your drywall. That tiny drip might seem harmless, but it's actually eating away at your house from the inside. Water feeds an army of mold spores slowly taking over your house. These invaders turn your home into their paradise. While you're sleeping, they're multiplying by the millions. That dripping sound might be the only warning you get. By the time you see actual damage, like water stains on your ceiling, it's usually way too late. Your walls could be so rotted that you could push your finger right through them. Ceilings might suddenly meet your floor. People have walked into their bathrooms to find the floor has turned into a trampoline. That innocent little drip has been quietly eating away at your floor joists for months. And that mold isn't just eating your house. It's floating through your air vents, too. That faint drip isn't just water. It's the sound of your house being eaten alive from the inside out. And the repair bill might be scarier than any horror movie. Number 1. The House Groan. A deep, unsettling groan echoes through your house. You might think it's just the house settling, but that groan could be your house crying for help. Houses do settle naturally, as the soil underneath gets compressed by the weight, causing some creaking and groaning. But that exact same sound could be your foundation slowly cracking apart, or it might even be thousands of tiny termites having a feast on your support beams. These little monsters work in silence, munching away at your walls 24/7. They turn sturdy wooden beams into something resembling cereal. By the time you hear that groan, they might have already eaten through half your house's structure. Termites can enter through cracks as thin as a credit card. That tiny hairline crack in your foundation could be a welcome mat. Once inside, they invite all their friends and family. Your house is the dinner. The terrifying part is these different problems all sound exactly the same. You don't know if it's just settling or if your walls are literally being eaten from the inside out. That mysterious groan could be the sound of your house slowly turning into very expensive sawdust. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.